Okay, here, this is a Lord Potato, and this is what if Asta was a Kitsune slash a werewolf, or wolf, somewhat. Um, what's it called? This is part one of it. I should mention one thing. Um, I know I haven't actually been posting what ifs kind of this whole week. This whole week has just been a little bit hectic from the problem that, well, one of my siblings is staying home because of school being in construction, and, well, a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I haven't really been. I tried to listen to my what ifs, but having my annoying ass sibling is the biggest problem and the biggest pain I have in my fucking world. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, I just been kind of posting new what ifs. I know I haven't been posting what's called what if Naruto was Toriyama reincarnation, or what if Azuna was the reincarnation either. Well, not Azuna reincarnation. Naruto was the reincarnation of Azuna. I know I'm gonna try to finish those, and if I finish them on either the same day, probably on Friday or something, or if I can, yeah, if I can finish both of those on Friday or somewhat, or get to a certain point that might be the end of the what if, I will end those. But yeah, of course, not the point. Let me go into this what if. What's it called? What else am I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm also gonna be trying to do part 4 of What If Naruto Was Merciless. I am going to try to finish that series in 5 parts. So I mean, 2 more parts. But yeah, since I did upload part 3 like on Monday, I think so. But not the point. Let me begin to this what if, and let me shut the fuck up. So, let me begin. Also, I should mention I'm pretty much fucking tired. I did not sleep yesterday. I had to wake up this morning in the day of fucking, most of the day, just to log in my siblings to school, just to go to Zoom meeting, whatever the fuck it's called. But whatever. Let me just begin, and let me shut the fuck up with problems that I have. But yeah. So, let's begin. So we begin into, well, a kind of, it's someone in a group. Mostly some people in a group kind of walking along a path. It's where, well, one person kind of has a cloak, but of course kind of had a reddish. She's right now kind of looking and, well, mostly looking forward. And this is where someone says, Princess Ruby, are you doing fine? This is where, well, Ruby turns to her side. Her name is Ruby. And of course she seems to be a princess. For some reason, she kind of smiles gently towards the person who asked that. It was a girl with, what's it called, darkish blue not darkish blue eyes, darkish blue hair, and of course brownish eyes. But yeah, chocolate brownish eyes. But yeah, of course Ruby says, yeah, I'm fine, thank you, Madaka. This is where, well, Madaka, who is identified, kind of smiles also back to Ruby. Of course, the other people seems to be guards or just some also helpers. But yeah, they seem to be going towards the Clover kind of kingdom. This is where, well, they're on a path. They're not using brooms because they don't want to alert them to kind of be attacked by the Clover Kingdom. But yeah, they're, for some reason they're there. But yeah, they're right now in Clover Kingdom ground. But yeah, of course, well, they're walking, and of course they accidentally, well, not stumble upon, mostly they found themselves kind of surrounded by bandits, and even a bigger bandit that seems to be like at least like 7 feet, someone like 5 feet. This is where that bandit says, interesting, there's a lot of beautiful women in that group, and a bunch of meh people, but whatever. It seems that you seem to be wanderer travelers from probably a different village or something. Or could you be? That's where he noticed a diamond symbol on Ruby's kind of cloak and realized that they are from Diamond. That's where he grunts saying, wow, you people are from Diamond? Interesting. Don't know why Diamond Knights are here, Diamond Magic Knights, but you're in the Clover Kingdom, well, Clover Kingdom ground. It seems that you don't understand much about, well, anything about the countries. You're probably much, you people are pretty much just idiots to be here in the Clover Kingdom ground. You know, we can easily kill you and take you out, and we'll be receiving lots of money from those loser for Magic Knights. From the Loser King and all that. This is where mostly the guards around what's it called Ruby gets on guard, but yeah. And even other people, but yeah. This is where Ruby also gets on guard, but this is where, well, next to her is a girl with kind of like a purplish cloak. And similar, what's it called? Well, what's it called? Well, not purplish cloak, it's mostly bluish cloak. Of course, where, well, she also has a diamond symbol, and this is where her eyes are bluish color. This is where, well, her name is Sapphire, but yeah. Sapphire kind of says, not Mataka. She says, Ruby, are you going to be fine? This is where, well, Ruby says, yeah, big sis, I'm going to be fine. Or, why do I call you big sis when we're the same age? This is where Sapphire says, because I like to be called older. This is where Ruby says, whatever, there's bandits here, I'm almost surrounded by all of them. This is where, well, Sapphire says, yeah, I know, this is bad. This is where something happens. Before any of them gets to attack, someone crashes to the ground. Well, not crashes to the ground. Mostly, what's it called? No. Let me go back. Of course, well, the older man says, well, let's start this show on the start. This is where he pulls out his grimoire, having a 3-leaf grimoire on it. It's fully black. And this is where he says, Obsidian style. Obsidian spikes. He starts sending it at the group. This is where someone activates their grimoire, and of course, it seems to be kind of a mixed match grimoire. Has kind of like this diamond material on it, but also kind of leathery. This is where this person says, diamond style, diamond shield. This is where, well, a diamond shield appears right now blocking the obsidian spikes. This is Mars. And yes, if we haven't realized, this guy has whitish hair, kind of purplish eyes. This is where, well, Ruby says, Mars. This is where, well, Mars says, Miss Ruby, are you fine? This is where Ruby says, yes, I'm fine. This is where next to him is a person with blondish hair. Of course, his eyes are a little bit kind of tyrus. But of course, he has no magic gems because, well, he got fucked up by someone. Of course, this is where he says, I should probably be able to absorb those attacks. Mars, you keep, keep the, what's it called? Boss or whatever, the boss of bandits in check. I try to deal with the others. This is where he says, magic mana beams. This is where he starts attacking the smaller bandits, but yeah. This is where, well, that is happening, and of course, where, well, everyone is trying to guard, well, mostly Ruby and Sapphire, but yeah. Seems that they seem to be like princesses or something. And of course, where, well, the bandits are easily being overtaken by Lanturus. Of course, Lanturus is this guy with blonde hair, but yeah. He used to have magic gems, plus they got fucked up, but yeah. This is where, well, he's taking them all out. Some of them sending fireballs at Lanturus, but Lanturus managed to absorb them and send him back, but yeah. This is where Mars is dealing with the boss. The leader laughs and says, interesting. You must be a guard, a very powerful guard, but you won't be able to take me out. This is where a glowish, well, mostly this glowish mana power exploded from this guy's body. It seems to kind of be blackish, but then purplish. First, he had a black ring that was obsidian, and of course, was able to increase its magic. Then purple kind of magic appeared around him right now, boosting his power to the max. This is where, well, Ruby says, wait, no, I've seen that magic before. This is where Mars says, shit, is Moraja around here? He said kind of quietly, but yeah. This is where someone in the trees laughs and say, this is interesting, don't you think, Barbara? This is where Barbara says, yeah, very interesting. Barbara with 3 arms, and of course, she's kind of smiling and kind of like grinning a little bit, but yeah. That's where 3 other people are kind of grinning next to her, but yeah. That's where, well, the person explode with mana and power. That's where he says, now I can easily crush you. You might have been able to take out my man, but I won't lose. This is where he says, of course, with all those multiplied magics, his power just increased a lot. This is where he says, obsidian sword. He made a giant sword, launches at Mars. Mars tried to make the diamond shield, but mostly it shatters in an instant. This is where he won his eyes, and of course, he almost got stabbed. This is where, well, he didn't get stabbed, but he got swinged away, mostly like, just swung away by the obsidian kind of sword. Mostly the kind of flat side, but yeah. This is where he smashes into a tree. And of course, where Lanturus did try to kind of, well not, yeah, Lanturus tries to absorb the magic but couldn't. Of course, he also got swung away into a tree. They mostly flung past the group, but yeah. That's where, well, the group widened their eyes, and of course, is where, well, the magic that this person has increased. This is where he started making obsidian, what's it called, swords from the sky upon a group that was the one to actually give him magic in the first place. A kind of seed. This is where they realized it backfired on them and almost got stabbed and kind of just what was that word? Just pierced by the swords. But yeah, this is where they jump out of the tree and landed next to the group. This is where, well, the group realized, yeah, these guys are evil bastards half the time. This is where, well, the people say, hi, we kind of fucked up, didn't we? This is where the person is right now laughing with so much power in his body. He seems to be able to handle all the mana around him. This is where, well, his grimoire started changing. Instead of having a 3, 4, even a 5 leaf, it turned into a 6 leaf. This is where, well, it started kind of becoming a goldenish color, and of course, where, well, they say, the fuck does that have to mean? This is where, well, they're confused with why the grimoire just turned to a 6 leaf, but this is where another power, a boost of, well, mana exploded from him. Well, not entirely yet, but it was kind of there. This is where, well, they were confused, but of course, someone landed, well, in front of them. Of course, dropping both Mars and even Arcturus down to the ground, smashing their face into the, well, mostly ground dirt. And this is where this person seems to be wearing a grayish kind of jacket. This is where, well, his face is covered up by a Kitsune mask. Of course, where, well, his hair is right now covered up by the jacket. Of course, he's wearing what's it called, these bluish pants. Of course, this is where in the back he actually has the symbol of like a wolf instead of like a tiger. But yeah, think of it like what's it called, Isilil Park? Or how do you say his name again? Okay, I don't know why I thought there was a K in there or whatever the fuck I just said. His name is Il Pio, what's it called, Park. So just think of that guy. That's what he's wearing, this person. This is where, well, this person seems to be wearing no shoes, but of course, this is where, well, this person seems to be carrying less. Of course, this person was a little bit taller than half of them. Well, not even a little bit. He seems to be at least around 5'8" or something. This is where, well, this person narrowed his eyes through his mask straight towards the person in front of him, mostly the bandit. And this is where, well, he then says, "Your Akoshon bounty over 4 million, isn't it?" This is where, well, Akoshon, who's right now just identified, says, "Huh? Wait, I know who you are. You're that demon that they call the bounty hunter demon. So tell me, are you here for my bounty?" This is where, well, the person says, "Not entirely. I guess I'm just here to mostly take more favors from 2 idiots." He just points down. It's where Mars and Lazarus kind of realize that who this person is. They have met him before, and Lazarus just has a memory of a flashback of how he lost his magic stones that were embedded in his body. Pretty much this guy fucked him up. Yes, he tried to take over, well, mostly not take over, mostly was fighting somewhere in, what's it called, near the Queen of Witches. And of course, this guy just came across and he got fucked up. Yeah, he was left shocked and dumbfounded. But yeah, of course, the guy didn't kill him. Instead, he just made Lazarus buy him food. This is where, well, the man says, "Also, remember all my little debts that you two gotta pay. You're gonna have to buy me so much food, don't you think?" This is where, well, the 2 of them just switch off, so yeah, but they're kind of still knocked out and hurt. This is where, well, the person says, "Whatever, I'll be fighting your little battle." This is where, well, this person rushes towards the bandit in an instant. This is where the bandit widened his eyes with the speed. He thought that he would be able to kind of figure out the magic of the demon hunter. This is where, well, the person appears out of nowhere right now underneath him. And this is where, well, Arcturus kind of widened his eyes. This is where, well, he got kicked in the leg so hard that he thought his leg snapped. But luckily the mana managed to heal in an instant. This is where he laughs and says, "Do you think that can actually do it?" This is where he got uppercutted. Even though this person was a little bit shorter than him, he got uppercutted and launched the fucking wall up in the air a little bit. This is where the guy widened his eyes and realized that this demon hunter that was supposed to be called the demon hunter, and mostly or also known as the executor, but yeah, the demon executor or whatever. Of course, where Arthur widened his eyes and realized that he won't be able to keep up with this person's speed. It's where he then got kicked to the side because even though he was up in the air a little bit, he got kicked to the side, mostly the left side of him, by a right leg, mostly a right back leg, and smashed to a tree in an instant. This where the group just widened their eyes, just kind of like blink, 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 dot, 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 dot. What the fuck is happening? The person who has so much mana just getting defeated by someone who seems to just be fighting against him with just fucking these hands. He doesn't need anything special right now. Of course, what the fuck? Of course, everyone's just blinking. And this is where, Mars and Lotarus got up and said, great, this bastard's here. Lotarus said, Mars says, oh shit. Do I have enough money in my pockets? I don't think so. This is where Lotarus, he says, I think I'm gonna have to sell an organ just to pay his fucking debts. This is where, they both just have this kind of dark cloud over their heads, but yeah. Of course, this is where the magic guy exploded out the rest. Says, I'm going to kill you! This is where, this person seems to be really calm and not even fazed by the mana power that's flowing through the sky. This is where, this person rushes at, this person, mostly the masked person. This is where the person right now kicks the ground and says, fire, he says, fire kick. This is where, not kicks the ground entirely. He kind of just like kicks up in the air and says fire kick, which a firewall kind of appears, smashing upon this person and smashing him to the trees. But yeah. He kicks up in the air and makes a firewall, but of course, this is where, the person gets pushed back a little bit. The guy who's 7'5", named Sibir, or whatever the hell that I call him again. Of course, this is where, the guy says, you think that'll be enough? This is where, the person pushes his feet to like the side, mostly the, right side of him, using his right leg to kind of put it next to his left and then slide it. And this is where he says, blazing Cyclops blade. This is where a fire attack smashes upon this guy. This is where the person coughed a little bit. Didn't cough, mostly just got hit by it and pushed away further. But yeah. This is where, the person sends a huge obsidian spike straight towards, this person with the mask. And this is where the person puts his leg up. And of course, this is where he says, Hellfire blade, swings it down, and of course fire swings straight towards, it just goes straight towards, this person. The obsidian and fire smash it together, but of course the obsidian managed to kind of break through and almost hit this person. This is where the person managed to dodge to the right, but of course palm strikes the obsidian, destroying it in an instant, breaking and shattering in there. He says, fire, destroyer. That's where he palm strikes that shit, destroying in an instant. This is where, it's just crystals right now, but of course, this is where, this person sees what's in front of him, and this is where the person just angry, raging, right now exploding with mana and saying, I'm gonna kill you, bastard. Of course, this is where, this person keeps fighting against, a soldier or whatever his name is. I forgot what it's called. Fuck. I didn't actually give him a specific name, but I just call him Arturia or whatever. Arturia would be the name that this bandit has. Arturia kind of says, that's it. Obsidian spikes. Domain. This is where darkness appears all around with both masked dude and Arturia. And Arturia says, die. This is where obsidian spikes pierces upwards and of course stabs this person. This person just stabbed. This is where he coughed up a little bit of blood, but of course, it didn't fall because he has a mask. This is where, the obsidian says, you weren't doing anything. This is where the obsidian disappears. And of course, this is where, the masked person looks up. And this is where Obsidian right now has a fist punch. This is where he says, die! He punches this masked person and launches him into a tree. He crashes into multiple trees. This is where Soldier states, interesting. You didn't die from that punch, did you? This is where, well, this person's right now looking down to the ground. This is where, well, he then thinks, damn it, am I this weak? This is where, well, he then says, am I really this weak? Should I start trying now? This is where someone in his head says, hurry up, kid. You know damn well you're not weak. Better start trying the fuck now. Such a mostly a growly voice and anger tone at the same time kind of told this person to get up. This is where this person's mask started getting cracks around his face mostly. This is where, well, mostly his mask, but yeah. This is where the person walks out of the shadows. Of course, this is where, well, he gets out of the shadows and the mask is cracking. Of course, this is where a piece falls off. But of course, he managed to catch it. But put it to near a tree and all that. That's where, well, the mask after a while starts fully cracking and getting destroyed. Or, well, not getting destroyed in an instant. It just cracks a little bit. That's where the person says, I should take you serious, observer. I'll be taking that stupid bounty with your head. This is where observer says, interesting. You haven't given up? Good, because I'm gonna kill the demon hunter like you are. This is where, well, this person started exploding with what's called mana. But it looked like mana. But yet, 9 fiery, whatever the hell it happened. But like 5 fiery tails actually exploded from his back. But really not his back, it was near his body. But yeah, mostly his back and all that. This is where, well, this person had his eyes. From the mask you could see. From the eye holes, they're orangey red, slicked, but yeah. That's where, well, his hair for some reason kind of became orangey a little bit, but yeah. Or, well, not orangey. It was kind of a blackish color, but then became a little bit whiter. Or not blackish grayish, but yeah. That's where, well, you can barely see it, but of course, that's what it became. Of course, it was kind of long. You can see a little bit from the jacket, but yeah, it wasn't fully zipped up, so you couldn't really. Well, you can see a little bit about his hair, but yeah, it fully became white. This is where, well, the person looks at Absurdia. Absurdia says, what are you gonna do? Try to defeat me? This is where, well, the speed increases upon this masked person. This is where the masked person managed to kick Absurdia in the stomach. Absurdia wide in his eye. Ow. No. This is where, well, he got kicked in the stomach, but then got kicked in the face, mostly in the chin, launching himself up in the air. This is where he whined his eyes, and this is where, well, the person grabs the ground in an instant. Mostly he puts his hand down to the ground. And of course, where, well, he then uses the same leg that he kicked this Carzaria up to fucking kick him to the side, launching him into multiple trees. This is where he didn't hesitate. And this is where, well, his leg right now turned into fire, and this is where he says, Kitsune form, number 1, fire fox demon. This is where he launches his leg that was right now turned to fire and transformed into a kind of fox made out of fire. This is where it rushes to Arzuria and exploded in an instant, launching fire up in the air. This is where, well, everyone widened their eyes, most of the group. This is where Mars and even Laturo says, oh shit, he's getting serious. Serious as he can be, can he? That's where, well, Mars says, I haven't even seen this. The only time I remember seeing it is the one where you pissed him off so much that he became black. Oh, screw that. I don't want to remember that. Laturo said. That's where, well, they kind of look at what's it called, this masked person's eyes, and they're so dangerously cold. This is where both Laturo and even Mars just has chills run down their spines because they have seen this. They were in the battle between this person before. Mars was in a different mission to go to a dungeon and all that, and Laturo kind of seen this when he was kind of fighting against Mars in the Queen of the Witch's hideout, but yeah, whatever. And of course, well, he got fucked up by this person. This is where the person seems to be the age of somewhere around 16 a little bit. But yeah. This is where, well, they kind of keep seeing this battle, and of course, it worked well. Arzuria exploded with mana, but this time his was called Success Grimoire that kind of exploded. It's where golden armor started appearing. It's where he says, "I will do this for peace. I won't let some filthy creature like you defeat me. Some demon like you." It's where, well, he has a golden sword, but the Sicilian is still right next to him. But yeah, and mostly cover up his golden armor. It's where his eye seems to really be corrupt as hell. And of course, it's just greeted with power. But of course, where, well, this person with the mask got so angry. Or just right now, just so angry. After seeing what this person has. The sixth leaf he thinks in his head. This is where, well, we go into, well, the first was a call. Different explainment of, well, the first Clover is love. Second Clover, integrity. Third is luck. Well, not luck, mostly loyalty. This is where, well, the fourth leaf is luck. The fifth leaf lies a demon. And the sixth leaf lies a god. It's where, well, what? The masked man kind of gets angry and roars in rage. It's where, well, someone in his head says, "A fucking god. And I should have known this person's powers, magical powers, similar to that of tyranny." It's where, well, this masked person gets angry. And of course, this is where, well, his reddish eyes in the beginning were select. One became a very crimsonish red. And of course, where, well, the mask started breaking in an instant, shattering it. This is where, well, two of the kind of eye holes of mostly the Kitsune mask kind of broke. And of course, the bottom part that broke fully and just fell down to the ground. This is where, well, no one else can see this except for Observer. And Observer says, "What? You're just a kid. What? Was I fighting against some kid like you? Whatever, I should slaughter you." This is where this person, whose mask just fell down, is nothing but just an anger in his eyes, in rage that a god has dared stepped into his presence. This is where, well, this person just went, well, kind of saw the look and widened his eyes. He only seen that look in one person, and one person only. For some reason, he got a memory of what he saw before. That look, that reddish eye, that reddish, crimson reddish eye. He says, "No, it can't be. He was still away. No, I remember stabbing him with my sword. No, he's supposed to be dead or still away. How do you have him?" This is where, well, this person seems to be unfazed with the questions, and he doesn't give any answer. Of course, the group behind them are still kind of shaking because of the amount of power that this person has. Mostly, not the one in front of them, mostly the one that's, well, over him, mostly the enemy, the bandit leader. That's where this person says one word, and that is a name. "You mean Finra?" This is where, well, the person widens his eyes and says, How? No immortal should know about that name. That bastard should have died a long time ago. No books, no nothing, no scrolls or whatever bullshit should know about him." That's where one girl is right now looking at mostly the back of the masked dude. And of course, he has like 9 tails, and she kind of gets reminded of that, like a Kitsune in her kind of like home legends, mostly hometown legends. Because she's not really fully from Diamond Kingdom or even the Clover Kingdom. She's actually from somewhere else. Of course, she has black, jettish, longish hair. And of course, where her eyes are kind of black color, but yeah. That's where, well, she's kind of like looking at this person's back. She gets reminded so much of those stories of the Kitsune. A legendary kind of demon, fox, that is nothing but rage and despair brings upon the whole world. Hatred and other things. This is where, well, she is kind of confused because she only heard those as a legend, and of course remembers the legends that usually a Kitsune, or mostly like a 9 tails or whatever it is usually doesn't like talking to humans and protecting them in particular. Pretty much it does it only for himself. He's like a lone wolf or something like that. This is where, well, the person walks forward. Mostly the mask is broken underneath him. Of course it worked. Well, he didn't like step on his mask and just like walked over it. Doesn't work. Well, this person says, "I'm going to kill you, you idiotic brat." Doesn't work. Well, this person pulls out a sword out of nowhere. And this sword was just a dark black handle. Mostly, well, black and red. Of course, he pulls out this sword. This is where, well, he says, Finral sword katana. This is where, well, he slashes at the god, and this is where the god winds his eyes. He got cut. Of course, he felt like his life was being depleted. This is where he said, "What the hell?" This is where, well, another sword appears, and this time the sword was a whitish kind of sheath. Of course, when he pulls out the blade, it was whitish and red. The handle was similar to the other sword, but it was white and red this time. This is where he says Kitsune sword. This is where, well, he pulls out both of them, and this is where he looks to be enraged. One side of his hair decides to, instead of being white, became long black. Of course, both eyes are different. This is where there's still 9 tails, but of course, a third, well, mostly a 10th one appears, but this time it's just fully black. This is where, well, it's like this dark energy. This is where this person has the eyes of an alpha predator. Someone that you shouldn't be fucking with. This is what, well, this god person named Asta says, How do you have those eyes? No, I get reminded of that bastard. I won't die to some insolent animal like you. This is where he rushes at, well, this person. And this person swings once with his kind of like white and red katana. And of course, this is where fire appears and cuts this person in an instant. It was white flames. This is where he then kicks at this person. Once he turns around so fast and back kicks him. This is where smashing that kick launches him into multiple trees. This is where he rushes at this person with high speed. Right now kicking him in the face. Launching him into more trees. This is where this person explodes with anger and rushes towards this mask. Well, mostly this cloaked figure now. You can't really see his face because it was cloaked. Mostly jacket. But yeah, this is where, well, this person gets hit, mostly tackled, and rushed to the like tree and smashed it upon there. This is where both of his swords was kind of like let go and of course smashed to the ground. Of course, both blades were mostly in the ground, but yeah. Or mostly the blade side, but yeah. Second from the ground, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, this person says, "I'm going to kill you, so I will be able to live. I won't let some idiot little brat have that power. No, I won't let some godser like you try to kill me." This is where, well, he tries to punch at this person. Of course, it's like what they call cloak was let down. And of course, the person has such anger in his eyes. This is where when the person tries to punch him, mostly Azeroth, tried to punch, well, the cloak person. This is where, well, the person kind of claws at what's called Azeroth, clawing him at his eyes. This person's eye could not be healed thanks to the mana being kind of destroyed in an instant. This is where, well, Azeroth say, you insolent little brat! Do you not understand how much more powerful I am than my previous god self? This is where, well, this person says, "You little shit." This is where, well, Mars says, "Kit, are you okay?" This is where, well, this person is saying Kit. Of course, this is where Kit says, "I'm fine. I'm not dying to some weakling like him. Libby." This is where, well, 3 grimoires actually appears. One has a wolf cloak, mostly like a wolf kind of like in symbol and all that. The other has a kind of Kitsune kind of look, but yeah. Of course, the last one has a 5-leaf grimoire. This is where Libby pops out of that one and says, "Yeah, I'm here. Let's get rid of his mana. It's so annoying, disgusting." Yeah. That's why, well, this person, Kit, grabs the sword that appears. And that was none other than the demon dweller. That's where he rushes towards the call. Well, this person says, "You think I'm gonna let some sword hit me? I won't die." This is where he says anti-magic slashes. This is where, well, 5 different swings, like air slashes appear, but they're black, and they just slash upon what's it called, well, Arbiter, Officer goes, he realized that he just got cuts and all that around his body. And of course, they're just very long slashes and all that. And of course, this mana feels to be depleted into an instant. And so where, the group that was still watching this, why their eyes when the mana just got easily erased. This is where Lotharius kind of says, yeah, I have the feeling that also. This is where, Mars says, oh, don't you remember that same feeling, Lotharius? Lotharius says, screw you. This is where Lotharius is hiding behind Mars and saying, if I get hit by one of those swings, I'd rather let you get hit. Mars says, I am not getting hit. If one of those swings decides to come towards us, I'm jumping away and letting that hit you. This is where Lotharius says, you wouldn't dare, would you? Mars says, I would. Fuck that. If I remember what those things are, those are anti-magic slashes. And I'm not trying to piss off Kit. This is where Lotharius says, what do you think I'm trying to do? Not trying to piss him off neither. That's where, Kit kind of turns to the side and sees both Mars and Lotharius kind of like being nervous. That's where he swings once towards their side, and a small slash of anti-magic decides to almost hit them. This is where Mars ducks, and this is where Lotharius jumps over it, trying to, saying, fuck that, you bastard! This is where this person grins with these sharp teeth, just because it's funny to him. This is where, he then rushes towards the car again. Officer says, I'm going to kill you. A sudden explosion. This is where Obsidian exploded around him, trying to hit what they call Kit. And this is where Kit right now sends multiple slashes of what they call anti-magic. Sing, sing, sing. This is where he then pulls out what they call a sword from it that's called the demon, mostly the demon slasher. And of course, this is a katana that he managed to grab and all that. And it was mostly kind of given a little, but yeah. Of course, this is where he slashes through all the what's it called, mostly thorns of what they call obsidian spikes and all that. And of course, this is where he easily cuts through it and rushes towards the observer. This observer says, I can't die. No. This is where, he winds his eyes after seeing the spikes get easily cut down. And this person having the demon dweller and the demon slasher. And this is where, this person says, die already. This is where Observer says, I won't die. This is where he tries to put his neck with obsidian and says, you think I will easily die? This is where this person's arm right now cloaking to this anti-magic. And the sword becoming fully black, the katana. This is where he says, anti-magics, demonics, head decapitated. This is where, it was silent, but of course fast at the same time. This is where, Observer thought that he didn't get hit, and he's, kind of, Obsidians managed to stop the sword from hitting him. This is where the person says, be gone already. He puts both the demon dweller and demon slasher back into the grimoire. This is where, he gets both of what they call the other two swords that flies towards him, and he grabs them with both hands. This is where he just cuts what they call all the limbs of this person in an instant. Such fast speed, but of course puts him back into the normal sheath and then puts him in the rightful place. Mostly two of them kind of goes into a rightful place, but yeah. But of course, this is where they kind of disappear into the grimoire of, one disappears into the grimoire of the Kitsune, it looks like, and another one goes into the wolf one. That's where, Observer says, you think I died? It seems that you miss. This is where the person eyes glares back, but instead of being like a Kitsune eye or anything, or even a wolf eye, it's just his normal slickering eyes. That's where he says, disappear from this world, you filthy god. This is where, with this person winding his eyes, it felt his head flying up in the air, and of course his whole body just sliced into so many pieces. Even his grimoire was cut in an instant, just ripped apart, just cut in an instant. This is where he exploded in an instant. This is where, this person grabs a head and says, thank you for the head, you idiots. Now I can definitely pay for some food. This is where he feels starving, thinking, I haven't eaten in a while. This is where, this person's hair decides to go back into a normal grayish color instead of being one white and one black. And of course the tails disappear. Mostly they were made out of some kind of magic, but yeah. That's where he kind of yawns and says, Well, now it's easier than I thought. This is where he runs, well, not runs, mostly walks back to the ground and picks up the pieces of the cloak and all that, or mostly the mask, puts them back into like his pocket and all that, and of course he says, I'm gonna have to ask the old lady about it. This is where first he then gets mostly a piece of thread of clothing and all that, and wraps it around his face. This is where, mostly he's covering up his like face and not his eyes. Mostly his eyes is covered up by the cloak, but yeah. This is where, Mars Lateris says, so, is it done? Holy shit, that person had so much mana, what the fuck was he? This is where Mars says, it could have been the fault of those idiots. But truly, what the hell? This is where, Mars then says, hey Kit, what are you doing with that head anyway? What do you think I'm gonna be doing with it? What do you fucking expect me to be doing with it? I don't know. Other than selling it? No shit, you idiot. I'm gonna collect the bounty from his head. 4 million is enough to supply me with a lot of food. He then thinks in his head. This is where Mars sweats off and says, yeah. Is that all you think about? Food? What about the other necessaries or whatever? Like a house or something? Nah, food is more important. I need food anyway. This is where, Mars sweats off, but yeah, this is where, one person in the group kind of just pushes past some people and then rushes up towards, what's it called? The masked person, the one that was named Kit, and just tackles him and kind of telling him, thank you. Just hugging him and thanking him. This is where, this person widened his eyes and then expect to just be tackled down. This is where this person says, hey, let go of me. This is where, Mars and Lateris kind of switch off and say, Princess, can you please not do that? This is where, Ruby says, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. This is where, she tries to bow multiple times, but yeah. This is where, the person seems to be just, what the fuck in his face? Mostly his eyes can say it all, but yeah. This is where, both, what's it called? Lateris and Mars says, hey, what's it called, Kit? Do you know where the nearest, how should I say, buildings are just to, how should I say, rest up? That's where, Kit looks upon them and kind of says, yeah, I have an idea, but I'm not letting those fuckers anywhere near it. That's where he points his sword straight towards, someone with kind of, this pinkish skin a little bit, and what's it called, but not pinkish, it's kind of palish, of course, where he has like a red kind of, mask for his eyes, or cover mostly, and of course has brownish hair. This is where the person kind of says, me? You're kind of rude as hell, don't you think, Kit? This is where, the person says, don't call me Kit, call me the Demon Hunter, and if you piss me off, I'm gonna kill you. This is where the person says, I don't really understand. Why are you gonna let Mars-sama and what's it called, Lateris-sama call you Kit, but you won't let me call you Kit? Because I'd rather fucking die than let some idiot like you call me Kit. This is where, the person says, you're so mean. Well, since you kind of told me your name, it'd be right for me to tell my name. Don't care, never ask, Kit said. This is where Kit started walking away, but yeah, this is where the person says, but isn't my name very important to you? The hell should I care? Do something stupid, I can just call you unknown and I don't care. This is where, this person says, you're rude. This is where something appears right next to him, it's a Kit, and this kind of like purplish kind of seed. This is where, Kit says, someone lost this. This is where, the girl next to, what's it called, mostly a person that kind of is next to, the guy with kind of palish skin, also has palish whitish skin that she has, and has 3 arms, widen her eyes, and realize that the seed didn't work on Kit, or whoever this person's name exactly is. This is where, Kit looks at this seed, but this is where he pulls out the demon slasher and swings it once in front of him, and destroys the seed in an instant, destroying the mana with it. This is where, Kit says, such an annoying ability. You know, I'd probably just kill you all 5 now. This is where, one of them grins and says, you really think you can kill me? I'd like to see you try. This is where she makes a kind of like scythe out of this purple darkish mana, and of course tries to swings it at, Kit. Kit swings his sword once, and of course, easily destroys the, well, scythe. This is where, well, Kitsune says that, this is where she starts from finish to bottom. But yeah, she kind of just sends multiple weapons, but all of them just get destroyed, slash, and erased. But yeah, this is where, well, she realized that she fucked up. This is where Kit fucking kicks her and smashes her into a wall. But yeah, or not even a wall, just a tree. But yeah, and destroys other trees. But yeah, that's where one actually cloak one kind of just didn't do anything to Kit. But yeah, there was only 4 people in this kind of group. But yeah, well, 5 kind of looked like a mouse that Kit kind of noticed and say, what the fuck, whatever. This is where, well, this person says, so, I guess you should know my name. The name is Mirage. This is where he points his hand at what's it called? Well, Kit. He wanted to be tried to be dramatic and all that, and his said, my name is Marge, Kit. This is where he sees Kit walking away, and this is where he starts to dropping his ape. You're serious? You just ignore me? Sad now. This is where, this kind of person next to him just starts laughing and all that. Her name is Barbara and all that, and she's like, he just really ignore you. What the hell? Even though his was a car, he's able to erase magic. He's strong as hell. That's where, well, Mars and what's it called? Afterwards, kind of follows the car. Well, Lady Ruby. But yeah, of course, Ruby does follow what's called Kit. Of course, we go into like 30 minutes later, and of course, they're kind of near a booth. And of course, where an old lady is kind of serving them kind of food, like all of them. Of course, well, she did repair the mask for, well, Kit, and of course, Kit can actually wear it now. That's where, well, Kit did pay for, well, a lot of things. Of course, this is where, well, the old lady says, well, Kit, are you going to leave again? This is where Kit says, yeah, of course. I need to make more money. Sorry about bothering you again. This is where she says, no, it's fine. Just come back anytime. Please don't get yourself hurt again. This is where, well, she does get the memory of what happened last time. This is where, well, Kit was really badly hurt. There was barely any time for him to be healed in an instant. But the old lady seems to be an expert in medical and herbs and all that. This is where one actually in the group kind of noticed the herbs that she used, and they were professional like ingredients and actually to heal someone pretty easily. This is where, well, the group kind of, well, mostly this girl with kind of, well, reddish hair. She says, you're really good at using herbs, you know that? Lady, Miss. This is where Miss says, oh, just call me, what's it called? This is where, well, she says, Miss Gia. This is where Gia says, oh, just call me Granny, it's fine. I don't really mind the disrespect or anything. I love being called Granny. I really didn't have many grandkids, except for Kit. Kit, even though he's not my child or anything, he's not my son or anything, I still look after him. This is where, well, this girl with reddish hair says, oh, that's interesting. So wait, who's Kit exactly? This is where, well, everyone kind of turned their head to the old lady. And this is where the old lady says, that's a personal question that you should be able to get his trust. I don't want to betray him. Not that much. Or not at all that much. Or anything. He seems to be a very lonely person. He usually doesn't trust many people with his actual name. And even those people who actually knows by his code name named Kit, it's strange for him to even kind of allow people to even give him that name either. The only names that he goes by is either the Demon Hunter or Demon Executor, meaning that he just goes after people bounties. It's strange, but yeah, sorry about that. I can't allow you to kind of know his name from me. Even though I know it, I won't ever betray his trust. He's too nice and young to be betrayed most of the time. This is where, well, everyone kind of nodded, and this is where, well, Mara says, well, do you know where the Clover Kingdom's at? Yes, sir, the old lady says, yes. From the fact that you're going through this road mostly, or this trail, you should turn left to another trail to get to the Clover Kingdom. It's not that hard. I can give you a map. This is where, well, Mara says, please do. This is where, well, Lothar says, I've barely been seeing the Clover Kingdom. This sucks most of the time. This is where, well, the old lady does give Mars a map, and yeah, and this is where they kind of says, okay, so we're going, okay, we should be going then. This is where, well, one person kind of says, "Where's Ruby?" This is where, well, all of them looks at this and sees that Ruby's gone. Kit left about, like, what's it called, 10 minutes ago. And, of course, Ruby kind of disappeared, like, 5 minutes ago. But, yeah. That's where old lady says, "I think I seen that girl with kind of a reddish cloak run past and kind of rush towards Kit's direction." And Kit kind of went through a kind of forest. But, yeah. This is where we go into Kit. Kit is right now, like, 5 minutes earlier. Or not 5 minutes earlier, it's just kind of here at a pond, kind of washing up his face. Definitely not trying to show his face most of the time. And of course, where, well, he looks at the water, seeing his greenish slick eyes. This is where he says, "Pathetic of my face." Whatever. He washes up, but yeah. Of course, where, well, someone's kind of seeing Kit. And of course, this is where she wants to kind of thank Kit a lot. Of course, this is where, well, she kind of sees, well, Kit's reflection, but it's kind of blurry a little bit since Kit keeps moving it with his water and all. Well, mostly kind of splashing his hand into the water so he can grab more water, but yeah. Of course, where Kit doesn't have his mask wear on mostly, it's mostly in the height of his head and all that, mostly left side, but yeah. And this is where, well, Kit just keeps getting water and either drinking it or just kind of splashing his face. This is where, well, Ruby kind of walks a little bit closer towards the Kit. And of course, where, well, she kind of stumbles and trips. And of course, this is where she kind of falls upon Kit. And Kit barely even managed to turn around and try to catch what's it called, Ruby or anything. Of course, they almost landed in the water. Of course, Kit managed to grab the tree that's kind of right next to him. And of course, where he is right now just holding on a little bit. This is where, well, he looks up. And this is where Ruby is kind of saying, their faces are really close to each other. This is where, well, Kit widened his eyes. And of course, Ruby widened her eyes. Of course, they're kind of blushing. This is where Kit blushes kind of a reddish color while she does the same. And this is where Ruby, well, mostly her hair, which Kit kind of noticed, has kind of reddish tints a little bit, but of course, it's black most of the time. She has silver eyes. And of course, where, well, Kit seems to be really blushing. That's where Kit say, "Can you, this is where, well, Ruby says, she started leaning in closer to Kit's kind of face entirely, and this is where Kit widened his eyes and said, wait. This is where Kit couldn't actually say any words because, well, this is the first time he ever done something like this, and before they notice anything else happens, Ruby kind of fully, well, not lands it, but of course, they hear kind of like walking and movements, and they hear Ruby's name being called out. And this is where, well, both Ruby and what's it called, Kit widen their eyes, and this is where Kit like decides to push Ruby up, and this is where Kit got his mask and jumps away. But yeah, into mostly some bushes and trees, just hiding away from everyone. This is where, well, his face was nothing but red, and of course, this is where, well, Karam, mostly someone in his head named Karama says, "Damn it, Kit, you almost had it." This is where this person named Kit say, shut up, Karama. This is where someone else in his head says, "Yeah, kid, you could have easily had her. Just one little close incher." This is where, well, this most of the kids say, "Shut up, Fenrir. No, stop, you two." This is where they kind of tease Kit a little bit, but yeah. We go into mostly the group kind of going into 10 minutes of walking and still trying to get to the Clover Kingdom. But of course, well, Mars and lots of us are kind of happy that they didn't manage to pay any food for what's called, well, Kit. But yeah, they didn't need to pay the debt, which are kind of happy. But this is where, well, someone appears right next to them. And of course, well, it's none other than Kit walking along beside them. This is where, well, the group kind of turns around and sees Kit. This is where Kit says, "Also, do you think I forget my little debt? Until you get to that Clover Kingdom, I need you to buy me a lot of food." And so where, well, both Mars and, well, Latrish's pals and realize that their bank account is about to just be destroyed in an instant. But yeah, this is where Ruby kind of sees him and her face becomes a lot of red. This is where she kind of looks away and looks somewhere else. This is where Sapphire notices it, and she kind of has this small grin to just tease Ruby. But yeah, Because she was well, the first person, well, not first person, really. Mostly other people kind of tell her of what was happening. Mostly girls kind of went to spy on Ruby and what she was doing and saw that. But yeah. So where, well, they get to the Clover Kingdom, and of course, where, well, the Magic Knights are all there. Well, mostly a couple of them. This is where, well, the squad of what was the name? The Lion Squad, the Crimson Lions, the Silver Eagles, the what's it called, Blue Rose, and yeah, and even what's it called, the Wizard King was there. This is where, well, someone was also there, and that was named Yami. He was from the Black Bulls. That's where Yami says, our information wasn't telling us lies. What's it called, Julius? Julius says, may I ask why the Diamond Kingdom is here? That's where, well, Sapphire was one to speak, and she says, we're here for an alliance. We're not here to attack or anything. Just hear us out for a second. This is where, well, Julius understands and nods. This is where, well, he says, then come along. This is where, well, all of them, mostly all the squad captains looks at Kit because they know who this person is. And of course, Yami says, Kit, you're here. I thought you were going to be still in the wilderness and refusing to join any squad. Are you here to finally join mine? You know, since I gave you that gift. This is where Kit says, screw you, I'm not joining any squad. I'd rather fight for myself and fight only for myself. Like I said, I don't care about any squad. This is where Yami says, well, not Yami, he wasn't the one to say this, it was Julius. And this is where Julius says, damn. Would you like your own squad? Fuck no. Knew it. Damn it. Worth a shot. This is where, well, mostly the whole Clover Kingdom knows about the demon hunter, the demon slayer, executioner. Pretty much they know about him because he's someone that actually kind of helped them a lot with some problems. Of course, where, well, one of, what's it called, the members of the Golden Dawn sees Kit, and of course, this is where he narrowed his eyes, his kind of blackish eyes at, well, Kit, and Kit narrowed his eyes at this person. This person from the Golden Dawn is none other than Yuno. This is where Yuno says, so, Kit, what are you doing here? This is where Kit says, ignoring you, bastard. I'd rather ignore you entirely. That's where, well, Kit is right now just trying to ignore Yuno fully, but yeah, Yuno says, you know, should I really say your real name, Kit? You know, your actual name? The one name that you actually had before you left me and everyone else at the church? That's where, well, Kit says, oh, screw you. Like I always told you when I was younger, I worked alone a lot better, and I was going to leave in the first place. So leave me alone, you know. This is where, well, they both glare at each other, but this is where, well, says, he sighs out and says, Asta, is it really that terrible for you to go back to the village? I know some people call you monolith, but was it really that bad for you to leave us? This is where Asta glares at Yuno and says, fuck that village and fuck you. You didn't know anything what was happening. You were too blinded with your fucking power. So fuck off and leave me alone. That's where Kit's cold green eyes became colder and much more slicked and angrier. That's where, well, says, fine. I will ignore your personal life. I will ignore everything. But still, you're still kind of a threat towards the Clover Kingdom when you're not on a side, and specifically, I'm a goddamn mercenary, so fuck you. This is where, well, both Kit and, well, kind of walks each, well, mostly separates, but yeah. Yes, Kit is none other than Asta, but yeah. Asta has a past that he doesn't really like to talk about or anything. And this is where, well, Yami says, so, Kit, are you gonna join my squad finally? If you mean join, or do you mean never join? This is where Yami laughs and says, I guess I knew that was gonna be the question. Well, not question. I knew that was gonna be the answer. I just wanted to ask a little bit, but yeah. As to where, well, Ruby keeps getting glances towards Asta and seeing how the Magic Knight knows about, well, Kit a little bit. As to where, well, Kit says, well, I gotta go do something. I need to get some debt collect from 2 idiots. That's what Yami says. Well, good luck in that. This is where Kit disappears from them and appears right next to Lothorus and even Mars, saying, oh, you 2 fuckers are not leaving me. You 2 are gonna buy me a lot of food. This is where, well, they both wind their eyes and realize that they're screwed, but yeah. But for now, I'm going to leave it off here for part 1 of what if Asta was a Kitsune / werewolf, or whatever, kind of a wolf summoner. Yeah. Now, of course, this was actually, let me mention one thing. This what if was actually mostly first made a couple of days ago. Of course, before the other what if, the one which what if Yuji was mostly Yuta's younger brother. But yeah, let them know was like made like yesterday. But yeah. But other than that, let me leave it off here. And yeah, bye bye. Good night.